Hey everyone, Ben from Snowboard Gamer. Welcome to episode 54 of This Week in Board Games. In this weekly show, I talk about all the games we played last week, go over any interesting board game news, and show any new purchases. I also do a spotlight on one game. If you're new around here, I also host monthly board game giveaways and monthly top 5 lists, so if you like board games as much as I do, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any content. This week's spotlight was recommended by one of my loyal viewers, Tom Hines. Thanks for sending this in, Tom. I posted a picture of an Exit Series game that I played out in Vegas with my cousins a couple weeks ago, and Tom commented and wondered if it would be possible to spotlight the Exit Series as a whole. So I'm going to do that today, and I'm going to do it spoiler free. You will see some of the components, but trust me, it will not spoil the gameplay. It will not help you in solving any of the puzzles and how to escape the room in this Escape the Room game in a box. The Exit Series won the Kennerspiel des Jahres last year in 2017, which is the connoisseur board game of the year. They are for 1 to 6 players ages 12 and up and play in 1 to 2 hours. Allison's also going to join me afterwards for some commentary. When you open the box, the first thing you'll see is an instruction booklet. It goes through the backstory on how you got trapped. It is only a few pages long. One person reads it out loud to the group. In addition to the instruction booklet, the game comes with a book that you find in the place where you're trapped. The book has several pages in it and is used to help solve some of the puzzles. There's one page in the book that shows the room that you're trapped in and some of the items that you have to open. Throughout the game, you're solving puzzles to open various drawers, lockboxes, cabinets, safes, and more in an effort to escape. Each one has a shape symbol on it. Before you start, you place the deck of riddle cards, answer cards, and all of the hint cards on one side of the table. For each puzzle, there are 3 hint cards that you can use if you get stuck. The first one just tells you which hint cards and or pages in the book that you need in order to solve the puzzle. The second one gives you an actual hint as to how to solve it, and the third one is the full solution to the puzzle. The book you find in the room gets you started with a riddle card for the first puzzle. When you think you have the 3-digit code figured out to open an item, you take the wheel, line up the 3 codes under the symbol of the decoder ring. A number appears in the middle of the wheel. You then take that numbered answer card and look at it from the answer deck. If it has a red X on the back of it, you did not solve the puzzle correctly and you need to go back and rethink your life. If the card has a bunch of pictures on it, then you find the picture of the item you are attempting to open. It will then have another number next to the picture. Find that answer card. It will either have a red X on it, meaning that you still don't have the right code, or text on it indicated that you have now opened the item. If you open the item, it will instruct you further on your quest, which generally involves getting more riddle cards to help solve other puzzles. Once you have solved the final riddle, you are freed from the room you are trapped in and have exited the room. I've got Allison on this week to talk about the Exit Series games. You've played one of them. I've played 3. What did you think of it when we played it?
I really like this series a lot. It's really fun.
Before I played, I didn't know what to expect. So I did this spotlight to give people an idea of what to expect without spoiling anything. What did you expect when you heard escape room in a box?
Honestly, I thought it was going to be really dumb, like just cheesy puzzles, and I thought it was going to be kind of corny, but it was really fun.
We had 2 couples over and played 6-player collaborative together. It was a lot of fun. It took us, how long, 2 to 3 hours?
Yeah, and we used like some of the cheats. I don't think they're called cheats.
They're called hints.
Some of the hints, even.
So one of the big complaints about this is that these are $15 each. They have 3 of them that came out last year, and I think 3 more this year that are out now. A lot of people say they don't want to spend $15 on a game to then throw it away because the pieces, some of them get ruined. You cut the book apart.
Yeah.
It's not replayable, not resettable at all. Once you're done with it, you're done. So what do you think about that?
I think most people have this mindset where if they're buying a game, they need to put it in their cabinet afterward when they're done and play it again and again. This game, like you said, you use one time, but if you go to an actual escape room, you're going to pay more than $15.
Per person, probably.
Yeah. If you and your 5 friends go to a movie together, you're going to pay a lot of money. So $15 for an evening of fun, when you phrase it like that, I think it makes it seem like totally worth it. Because you can have some friends over and for $15, have a really fun evening.
Now, what I would say is if you like puzzles, you will love these games. If you don't like the puzzly type things, you might get really frustrated because some of the puzzles are tough. and you're sitting there banging your head against the wall. Even with 6 adults, we couldn't figure some of them out, and we had to get a hint or two. But once you figure them out,
you feel so dumb because it's so obvious, but you're just your brain is not used to thinking in that abstract way. So as soon as you figure it out, you're like, oh, I knew that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you get a sheepish grin and you're like, oh my gosh, how did we not get that? So I think that's kind of a cool aspect of it. It's really frustrating in the moment, but then when you solve it, it's really rewarding, especially if you can do that without getting a hint.
Yeah, and if you view it as a one-time use game, it I think does make it more fun, and it makes it less painful to tear the cards up. I mean, like, I live with Ben, who sleeves everything, so to like not sleeve a card and to tear it in half, it was kind of painful.
Yeah, once I got over that though, I was okay, but it was kind of cringy, the first one we had to cut up and do something with.
It really is. So if you're not like a social person and you don't like to go out, or you don't want to go to an escape room because it's too expensive, like, this is such a good game to have friends over and play together in your home.
One thing that I like about the game is that it's not linear. You don't solve one puzzle and you go to the next, and you solve that puzzle and then you go to the next. Sometimes you get one hint here and you half solve a puzzle and there's something else missing, there's something else you need, and then several hints later after you've solved something, you open a little box and there's something inside of that. Oh, and then you go back and then now you solve that puzzle. So we figured that out the hard way. We got stuck on one forever.
Yeah, you're not reading left to right. Like, they give you a book, but you aren't necessarily doing it in the right order. So Ben and I played the Pharaoh's Tomb together with our friends. I haven't played the other two yet. I don't know what to say. It just was really a fun night.
Okay, so I'm going to end with something. Last year, the Exit series won the Kennerspiel des Jahres, which is the connoisseur board game of the year. Now, this was up against 2 other games, Raiders of the North Sea, which I have not played, but I've heard is very good, and Terraforming Mars, which we've both played. And this beat Terraforming Mars. What do you think about that?
I do have strong opinions about this. As a one-time play game that's like a party game, I don't know how it won. Terraforming Mars is such a great game. It's one of my top favorite games to play.
Mine too.
For this game, which seems like lighthearted and fun, and I would put it in a party category, and it's like a one-time use throw in the garbage game, I don't understand how it even won. It makes you wonder who is judging and where they're coming up with these scores.
The puzzles are definitely very unique and very clever. But to beat out Terraforming Mars is one of my favorite games too. I was really disappointed when this beat it out.
It's crazy. Yeah, and Terraforming Mars, like, it is definitely a deeper game that fits the category really well. So I think it should have won. This is still a really fun game. I would never have even put it in like a top 10 favorite games list, because I don't even consider it like a game. I consider it a one-time activity for an evening. So if you ask me what my top 5 favorite games were, like, this would never even be in it. It would never even be in my thoughts.
That being said, it's worth it to at least get one. Spend the $15. See if you like it or not. If not, don't get any of the others. But if you do, then get some more of them. And I like them, but not all the time. Once you're done, you're kind of like, oh man, that really was a brain burner trying to figure out all those puzzles. And I want to wait another month or 2 before I try another one. It's not one that I'm like, oh, let's play another exit. But every time I finish, it's a really fun experience.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to talk down about the game. It's really fun. I had a really, really good time. I just would never have put it up against Terraforming Mars, ever. And I've only played once, so Ben, maybe you can answer this question. I mean, looking at the back of the boxes, it gives a little bit of like a hint of what the game looks like. And they all pretty much look the exact same. So it seems like each game is set up kind of the same, but maybe with a different theme. So did that affect your gameplay when you played it a second or third time?
It helped us get started a little quicker because I understood the mechanics of the game, but it didn't help in solving any of the riddles. And so the spotlight I did today shows you the mechanics of the game, but it doesn't help you with any of the riddles. It'll just help you just get going a little bit faster and understanding how the riddle cards versus the answer deck and the hint cards work. They all kind of work the same. They've got the wheel, and you have to line the codes up, either numbers or symbols, to try and get the right 3-digit code to open that safe or whatever it is.
Gotcha. It's a really fun series.
Yep. Thanks, Allison.
Anytime. You're welcome.
I hope you enjoyed that spotlight of the Exit series. This has been a super busy week for us. Summer is winding down, the kids are in band camp, I just started a new job. We took our last trip last weekend to New York City, so I've got a little vlog of that at the end of the episode. We did play a board game this week, but I'll be honest, we only played one. It was so busy. We managed to fit in Unearth. This is my new crush right now. You know how you get a board game and you're just so into it and you want to play it, and you want to introduce everyone to it? This is my new one here. I've been telling everyone about it. It's really fun. It's a dice placing game where you roll your dice and you place them on these cards. There's a payout for a high dice roll and for a low dice roll. It's a light game, 30 minutes, that's it. We're really enjoying this game. It's a fun one. I 3D printed some love letter tokens for my nephew. He has regular love letter and I have Batman love letter, which is out of print now. But the rules in Batman love letter are slightly different than the regular love letter rules. In regular love letter, you win by getting 4 tokens, and the only way you get one of those tokens of affection is by winning the round, either being the last one standing or the one with the highest card at the end of the round. In Batman love letter, the first to 7 wins instead of 4. Why 7? Because you can get potentially multiple tokens in a round. The gameplay between regular love letter and Batman love letter is the exact same. The only difference is that the number 1 card, which in love letter is the guard, and in Batman love letter is Batman. It allows you to guess a card that a player has. And if you guess it properly, they're out of the round. In regular love letter, they're just out of the round. And you hope you win the round to get a token. In Batman love letter, if you properly guess what card someone has and get them out of the round, then you also get a token. So if you can do that and win the round, you can potentially get 2, maybe even 3 tokens. It changes the gameplay so much because all of a sudden the number 1 card is actually very valuable. In regular love letter, you get the guard card and you're just like, well, I'll just guess. You dump it because you want to keep your higher card in your hand. In Batman love letter, it might be more strategic to keep the number 1 card towards later in the game, especially if you get down to 2 people and you've got pretty good odds of guessing what the other person has. You can play the 1 card, guess what they have, get them out of the round, then win the round, and that gets you 2 tokens right there. You can play the Batman love letter rules with regular love letter. You can get coins or tokens or whatever to keep track of them. But I figured I'd 3D print these for my nephew so he can play the Batman rules with regular love letter. Our family took a trip to New York City this week, did a lot of sightseeing, and got to squeeze in a little bit of board games. Here's our vlog from that. First stop of the day is a place called Black Tap. Kinsey is taking us all around New York City to try a bunch of different desserts because she loves baking. They have some crazy milkshakes here apparently. It is raining this afternoon. After getting sugar overload at Black Tap, we are heading to the Uncommons, a board game cafe in Lower Manhattan. It's only half a mile away. We made it to the Uncommons. It looks pretty busy in there, so let's hope we can get a table. Let's go check it out. The board game cafe was super crowded and had to wait, so we ended up not staying and playing, but it's crazy how many games they fit in that small space, right? Hold up, I gotta check you. About to get crazy, schedule when you follow. Ready to bed, and be in the fish. This is the life of the pension. Got a sweet tooth for the jump and I dig it. Act up, get pitch, you're gonna see it. I live in the faces of the king on the phone with a soul with a bump.
We are headed to the Mac Bar to pick up some French macarons.
We are continuing Kinsey's tour de suites across New York City. So what is the difference between a macaron and a macaroon? Most people don't know.
A French macaron is 2 sandwich cookies that is filled with some kind of filling, a buttercream ganache maybe. And then a macaroon is a coconut dessert that's made of coconut and sweetened condensed milk. We got the French macarons. I'm gonna try birthday cake right now. It does taste like birthday cake.
We're at the top of the Rock Observatory, top of 30 Rockefeller, with Empire State Building in the background. Great view of the New York skyline at night. I did pick up a copy of Unearth. I like this so much at Funko BenCon at Will and Amy's house that I picked up a copy here in New York City, and we were playing it in the hotel of our lobby tonight. We just took the kids to see School of Rock. What do you think, Kinsey?
It was really good. So we got a lot of the kids' signatures.
Some of them were 9 and 10. They were amazing.
It's really good.
Yeah. And now for the news. Next, Altiplano, which is a game I spotlighted in episode 49, is getting an expansion. It's due out in October of this year. It's called The Traveler and adds more locations, some resources, additional strategy, and this Traveler, which is a guy you can trade with apparently. Sounds interesting. I'll be checking that out later this year. I backed a project on Kickstarter for the board game Trogdor. Any Homestar Runner fans out there? I just had to back this. I have no idea if the game's actually even going to be good. I watched the video, I was kind of like, eh. But it's Trogdor, the Burninator. Help the beefy armed dragon Trogdor burninate the countryside in this cooperative game of burnination, majesty, and consummate V's. If you don't know what Trogdor is, I highly recommend you go check out the Homestar Runner videos. It is classic. It was a web series back in the early 2000s that is one of my favorites. For my new purchases this week, it's just Unearth that I picked up in New York City. You saw that in the vlog. One more piece of news, Gen Con is going on right now. Over 60,000 people go to Indianapolis for the biggest board game event in the United States each year. I'm not going this year. I'll be interested to see what games are released. They always announce a bunch of new ones each year. There will probably be a bunch more in the news next week. That's it for This Week in Board Games. Thanks for watching, everyone. What games are you playing? I'd love to hear in the comments below. Also, do you have any games you would like to see spotlighted? Thanks, Tom, for sending this one in. I hope you enjoyed it. Play more board games, and we'll see you next week. Bye.